Hello and welcome to the Golden Newsletter channel. My name is Kai Hoffman. I'm the JR Mining guy over on X. And together with our good friend Brian London, I'm your host of the Golden Newsletter channel. And I'm excited to welcome back Tim Moody. He's the president and CEO over at Pan Global Resources, and it's time for an exploration update. The company recently put out some sample results from the Profunda target in northern Spain. And it's good to just get Tim on just for a general exploration update. How's drilling going at Carmenes, but also at the Bravo target? So I'm really curious to hear what he has to tell us about that. Before I switch over to my guest, you know the spiel. Hit that like and subscribe button. Helps us out tremendously, reaching a wider base of investors. So thank you so much for that. Now, Tim, it's great to have you back on Golden Newsletter. It's good to see you again. Welcome.
Yeah, likewise, Kai.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's dive right in, Tim. Let's start maybe with the press release, sample results from the Profunda target at Carmenes. Recap the release a little bit for us, but also why was it so significant? And there were fairly high-grade sample results.
Yeah, so this is the second target that we've done some work on in the northern project, which we call the Carmenes project. The first target was Providencia, where we, as you know, we reported some very high-grade gold at surface, but we're testing a high-grade copper plus other metal, nickel, cobalt, etc., breccia pipe deposit. And we've expanded that drill program. So the drill rig's turning away on that one, and we're on the second hole just now. But yeah, the Profunda target is about 1 kilometre to the south of Providencia. It's again, it looks similar to the Providencia target where we're drilling at the moment. Perhaps even bigger. The initial soil geochemistry program assessed the target area of sort of 500 meters by 150 meters. So, look, this is the report. The news release we just put out is the first results of any detailed sampling on that target. And we chose to try and get into the old mine workings and sample the walls of those, the old tunnels, etc. And look, it's confirmed some very high grades, just like we were seeing at the Providencia target. So, we're talking 27 samples that we collected, averaging 3.6% copper plus significant cobalt, nickel, and silver. There was a 5 meter continuous channel sample there, averaging 5.2% copper, 0.14% cobalt, etc. These are really high numbers, high value numbers. At those sort of grades, you're talking over $1,500 a cubic meter. So these are rich rocks. So hopefully there's a lot more of it. But that was the first sort of attempt to get in underground. Just to let people know, this is quite sort of difficult areas to sample when you're going underground. These old 100-year-old mines, there's collapsed zones, there's water, all sorts of things. So we've really just got a glimpse of what the old miners were sampling. So look, as I say, I think it is quite significant. It's really confirming the high-grade nature of the mineralisation at Profunda. We look forward to the next phase of work on that target.
What does that next phase of work look like, Tim? I was going to ask, how are you going to follow up those sample results?
Yes, well, as you know, we showed that there's potential for gold in these systems. So look, the next phase will be similar to what we did at the Providencia target, which is to cover this with a sort of a detailed soil sample program, plus some detailed mapping and sampling, etc., and see if we can better map out some additional areas of mineralisation. See if we can find another gold zone ahead of doing any drilling on that target. So, that's whether we need to do some surface trenching, etc., like we did at Providencia. We'll take a decision on that once we complete the next phase work.
No, it sounds good. Of course, I always like companies doing their homework first before rushing into anything anyway. So that's the logical approach. You talked about drilling at Providencia. Like, what's progress looking like? I remember us speaking a month or so ago, and you said, well, there was so much snow we had to postpone, or we had to drill on site, but we had to wait to turn it on. What's the status there?
Yeah, so we're back drilling, and we've had 2.5 weeks or so, 3 weeks of uninterrupted drilling. So I should say the first hole we lost. It got the hole collapsed, etc. So we had to start again on the first hole, but we completed that. We can see some mineralization in that hole. We now just started the second hole into the breccia pipe, and then we have another 3 holes after that, which are going to sort of test more of that gold zone that we saw off to the east.
Yeah, no,
So
fantastic.
good progress. Good
how
progress
many
at this
holes?
stage.
Okay, like how many holes are planned in total at Providencia?
Yeah, 5 in the first stage. Yeah.
Fantastic,
It was
awesome. Okay,
initially 2, and we expanded that to by another 3 on the basis of that detailed surface sampling, which we're now looking to do at Profunda target.
fantastic. All right, we'll be looking forward to those. Like any indication on lab results, because that was the first, the first drill
Yeah.
to start up again. I think. Like what are we looking here in terms of turnaround time, Tim?
Yeah, I think we're looking probably 6 weeks or there. Hopefully less, maybe 4 weeks. The core's being cut. It's going to the lab. We may actually have the completed hole. We lost the first start of the first hole, and we had to drill another one. But we should have all those samples in the lab if sometime this week.
No, fantastic, awesome. Let's move south, Tim. What's happening in the south right now? Where are you drilling, and how's it looking at Bravo?
Yeah, so look, we're on our second hole at Bravo. So as you know, we've got about 8 holes planned there. So early days. Where again, we've had 20 days of consecutive rain in that area. Now these are sort of black soil plains. Really, they get very muddy and boggy. So that's almost unheard of in that part of the world. It's best known for its sunshine, etc. So that has impacted progress a bit, but we are continuing to drill, we're looking forward to completing that drill program and getting some results out sometime in the second quarter this year.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about turnaround time, but you answered that already as well. Anything else we need to know? Like anything else Pan Global is working on in terms of exploration? At one point, I think you might have even mentioned 3 rigs. Where do we stand on that?
Yeah, so we've got 2 currently operating. We did have 3. We started drilling in January, so we've been drilling this year for a bit over 2 months now. So results are just starting to come in from those first holes, which includes some of the drilling at on the step-out drill holes at La Romana, most advanced target. But also, we've got some results to come in still on some of the other targets peripheral to that as well. So, those results are just starting to come in now. So, hopefully we'll be able to report the first batch of results, perhaps the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that'd be great. Just run your proper QA, QC procedures here and looking forward to that batch. In terms of catalysts, you said it, drill results next 2-3 weeks. Anything else like in terms of like surface sampling or any like ground truthing that you're doing?
Yeah, so I think we've got the results from La Romana, the extension on that, which we're going to use to before we go out with and do our first resource. But then the results from drilling some of these new targets in the broader Escacena project area. So those are potentially important catalysts. What else? Then of course the drilling up in the north at the Carmenas project. We've got the drill results that will come, hopefully sooner rather than later from the first drilling at the Providencia target. The announcement of drilling at Profunda as well, I think, will be important once we complete the next phase of exploration, surface exploration. I should also mention at the Carmenas area, we flew the area with a helicopter, survey electromagnetics, radiometrics, magnetics, etc. That survey was completed. It was designed to sort of fast track the exploration in the sort of mountainous area. So, we're busy interpreting the results of that survey as well. So, there could be a whole crop of new targets coming from that work.
No, fantastic. Yeah, lots of news flow. Tim, phenomenal that you jumped on. I know you're in Australia right now visiting family, so I appreciate you taking the time. And we'll have to get you back on in about 2 weeks, the very latest, when we were seeing some drill results come out. So really looking forward to that. Tim, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate the update, and everybody else, thank you so much for tuning in here to the Gold Newsletter. Hope this quick update, this exploration update with Tim Moody was helpful to you and insightful. Let us know if it was. Put that down in the comments below. And of course, we'll get Tim back on the second drill results hit the wires, and we'll discuss with him. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back with lots more here on the Gold Newsletter channel. Take care.